Hello there, today we'll be reviewing Kerbal Space Program. I'm Pedro, and I've been playing video games since I was a kid, including Kerbal Space Program for almost a decade. I'll be approaching this review from the point of view of an experienced player and a physics nerd.
Hi, this is Ellie. I personally don't have that much experience with video games. I've definitely played them before, like in my childhood. I'm not like a huge gamer, and I'm definitely not very skilled at them. So that's my point of view.
Hi, this is Brian, and just to preface everything, I have pretty much no experience with video games. I usually prefer like other forms of entertainment, so this is not something I'm used to, something new, might be fun. Let's find out.
Kerbal Space Program, a game that could be summarized as a NASA simulator, or maybe the Minecraft of rockets. KSP gives the player the entirety of the Kerbal solar system, a 1:6 analog of our solar system to explore and play with physically accurate aerodynamics and orbital mechanics. Every mission starts here, in the Kerbal Space Center, where you can recruit new Kerbonauts, choose contracts for missions, but most importantly, build and launch your vehicles. Inside the vehicle assembly building and the spaceplane hangar, the player has access to a massive array of parts, where they can pick and choose to build their rockets, planes, spaceplanes, rovers, space stations, and every other possible contraption. The only limitation is your imagination and the goodwill of the Kraken. Now, it's time to launch and see if you got a fully functional spacecraft. Make sure your stage is correct, if not, you may end up with a catastrophic fireworks show. The player has control over everything: throttle, direction, staging. This may be a challenging task, combining the controls with knowing the physically accurate trajectories needed, because only going up is not enough. To achieve orbit, one must go sideways, really quick. Once in space, the player can use the maneuver node to help plot their next burn, so they don't actually need to know Kepler's equations to move around. And from here, the only limitation of where you can go is the amount of fuel you have left.
So I personally really like my games to be simple, and Kerbal is definitely more detailed, more intricate than the games that I prefer to play. I just thought it was a little challenging, like very challenging, to the point where I kind of just wanted to give up. There were a ton of options when building your rocket, which could be really great, but for me, I just found that kind of overwhelming.
As soon as you go in, there's like so many options, you kind of get confused, and a lot of the moving parts are actually controlled by the player. So for example, if you're going to go to space and you're doing like a launch or orbit, everything's actually controlled by the player. It's not like very little of the time it's actually controlled like by the computer. So I feel like there's a very steep learning curve when it comes to that. Like you actually invest a lot of time to actually know how to play, like use those options and use those tools that the game gives you.
So we will have to agree. There is a steep learning curve to the game. When I started playing a long time ago, I suffered through it. A lot of explosions, failed missions, wrong calculations, things went wrong on all possible ways. Exploding and failing is definitely part of the journey, but it was fun.
I felt like the game itself, it seemed very interesting. I had no idea what was going on. Like the mechanics, everything seems pretty flawless and very interesting. Just like there's a lot of technical skills involved, so I would only like recommend the game to someone who's like willing to invest a lot of time in it. Personally, I'm not in that group. I'm like in the group that's more chill and I don't know what's going on. So like I felt like if I actually knew what was going on and knew how to play the game, it would actually be pretty fun, I guess.
Alright, personally, I just thought this game was a lot more niche than I originally thought it was. I can definitely see how people who are into aerospace or mechanical engineering would really like it, but I personally just did not enjoy it that much just because I'm not that into physics, and like I said, I enjoy games that are very self-explanatory. I can see why people in aerospace would love it. I definitely would recommend it to somebody in that field, but personally, as a biomedical engineer, it is not related to things that I'm interested in, and I honestly just found it a little frustrating at times.
doing interplanetary missions, going to the moon and back, exploding sometimes. It's always fun. It was fun the first time around, and it's still fun almost a decade later. But yeah, I have to agree. Kerbal is definitely a niche game, but if you're in that niche, it's probably one of the best games ever. So go for it.